Girls, we all need to help. Quickly, he's losing blood.
I pray that the Lord see fit to restore the health of the wounded soldier.
We ask for your protection over our school, and we pray that we will be kept from harm throughout the night. Amen.
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. I'm Christy, it's Alonzo, that's Ben. Sofia Coppola has remade The Beguiled, if you ever saw that, 1971 Don Siegel film starring Clint Eastwood.
She would prefer to say that she made a movie from the same novel that Don Siegel.
It's a reimagining. We're rebooting the franchise with Colin Farrell.
I don't think you get to say that. I mean, like, you can point out that, hey, we both use the same source material. There's the novel, The Beguiled, and Don Siegel made the movie with Clint Eastwood in 1971, and I'm making it again. But it's already been made as a movie. You are remaking.
Okay, but like think of all the Hamlets and Christmas carols.
And the Coen's True Grit is not a remake, right?
I think they have to say
that's
it's
their
a remake.
version of it.
I think there's a Shakespeare exception to my rule, which I'm literally making as the words come out.
And Dickens, okay.
Yeah,
fine.
all right. So you may
describe
be right.
it, please, Ben.
Am I describing it?
Yes, you are.
Okay, well, set in 1864 in Virginia, right?
Yeah, Virginia.
Two women, well, really Nicole Kidman and Kirsten Dunst, two women are sort of shepherding four others?
Five.
No, I think there's seven.
It's a bunch of girls.
A girls' school.
Yeah, it's a girls' school during the Civil War. There are no men around. They're either off fighting or have already been killed or missing during the war. And they're in Virginia in the Confederacy. And one of the girls in the beginning of the movie, the very first scene, discovers a wounded Union soldier deep in the woods, played by Colin Farrell, who convinces her to bring her back. And she does the Christian charitable thing and brings him back to their home/school to tend his wounds. He's wounded, and the story develops from there.
Corporal McBurney's stay here has taught us all a very important lesson.
Can I get you anything?
The enemy is not what we believe.
The trailer gives away fucking everything.
They do and they don't. The trailer kind of juxtaposes moments with other moments.
Yeah, they're not always honest, but still, I was shocked at how much. I mean, I'm glad I saw it early enough that I didn't see the trailer first. Because I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, no, I love this. This is beautiful. It does cover a lot of the same territory that Sofia Coppola has explored throughout her career.
Yes.
Women
stuck
trapped,
somewhere.
Women asserting their identities and evolving and coming of age in a pressure cooker situation. But this, I would say, is her first. It's a horror movie. I mean, it's horrific in a lot of ways, and the way it escalates and the tension and the pressure. I loved it. It is beautiful and startling and strange, and it's languid in a way that the original is not. I mean, structurally, it's very similar to the original. Plot points are the same, but the perspective is totally different. It's a female perspective. It has a level of ambiguity that the original does not have, which I really enjoyed,
Yes.
especially as far as the McBurney character. The original spells things out quite a bit. And the performance is so different from Colin Farrell in a way that I think really works. Like Clint Eastwood, I mean, sexy as hell in 1971 and beguiling in his own way, but Colin Farrell just turns on the charisma, which adds a layer of charm and desirability to him that makes that totally toxic situation make sense more, I think.
No, I agree. I went back and watched the original after seeing this one, and there's a lot that I like about the original, but I think that it spells things out in a way that Coppola doesn't feel like she has to.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
the original has actual, like you'll hear people's voices, like their monologue voiceover of things they're thinking about, or flashbacks, or like they really will come out and tell you, this is how I feel about this, and this is what happened to me. And this movie, you really have to sort of do a lot of inferring about the relationship between characters and where they come from and why they're acting the way they are.
I saw the original. I thought I saw it in preparation for something at TCM, but now I'm remembering I saw it as a response to stuff we did at TCM, because so many people, when I did Escape from Alcatraz, because so many, in reading about Eastwood and Siegel on Escape from Alcatraz, which was I think their last film together, they did 5. So many people writing about that relationship in that movie talked about The Beguiled as, secretly their best movie. It's not Dirty Harry. So I went back and saw it then, but I'd largely forgotten. I did not think it's their best movie together. I liked it though, but I thought right then, like, God, like stop telling
underlining
me. Right. Stop underlining. This does that much better, because for much of the movie, even after I think some people make a firm decision about what kind of person Colin Farrell is, I was still wondering.
Right.
Like really up until very late in the movie, I thought, what is motivating Colin Farrell? What does he want? Is this at his core, is this a good man in a terrible situation, or is this a bad guy?
One thing that the original does, I think that there was a smarter move. I love Kirsten Dunst as an actress, and I think she's great here, but she is traditionally gorgeous. And Elizabeth Hartman in the original film is also beautiful, but she's sort of like the movie's idea of what a plain woman looks like. So when the soldier is wooing her and telling her how beautiful she is, you get more of a sense of like, okay, is he running a con here? Is he like, is he sweet talking her? And in the current one, when he's saying all that to Kirsten Dunst, it's kind of like, well, yeah, she's Kirsten Dunst. I mean, that's
right. But I think it's more how she responds to it. She says at one point her wish in life is
to be far away from this place,
anyone who would take me or get me far away from this place, or just maybe to be far away from this place. But of course, there's a young woman, and there hasn't probably been a man around to say anything nice to her, and certainly women then didn't tell each other how beautiful they were, or hadn't been anybody say anything nice to her in 3 years. It's been 3 awful years of war, presumably.
He sees her as vulnerable, and because she has self-doubt. And one thing that I thought was funny was that she said before the movie shot, Kirsten Dunst did, that she's like, I'm not gonna lose weight. Like she was asked to lose weight, and she's like, this is how I look right now, and I'm not losing weight. And so she looks like a normal sized person.
Yeah, she looks great.
I'm glad I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
It's worth noting the novel and the original movie have a slave character in it.
Let's talk about that.
Coppola has decided not to use. There have been 2 really interesting articles about this on the web if you want to read more about it. Ira Madison III and Ingu Kang have both kind of written about Coppola and sort of her history with race in movies, specifically Lost in Translation. And Ira Madison makes the point that frankly, like maybe if she knew enough to get out of her lane and like not wade into a potentially touchy subject for a white filmmaker to tackle in 2017, that because he's okay with it.
Because it's not what it's about. So if you touch on it, and obviously it's loaded as it should be loaded. You run the risk, even with the best intentions, of artistically ending up skirting it, like making it, look, it's about these women of privilege and whether and that's
I didn't miss the character also.
I didn't even remember that there was I didn't know about it in the novel, which I think is from the mid '60s. But then I didn't remember it from off the top of my head from the Eastwood movie. So I would say that was a logical decision to make, and you could presume there's no question that these would be the kind of people who had slaves. But you could also think during the war they ran off.
Right. And that's what Lawrence's character says when she discovers him in the woods. Like when he asks her who all is there, she says, my teacher and 5 other girls, all our slaves ran off. Like they explain it. They explain it early on. And one thing also Sofia Coppola said about this issue was, I didn't want to see young African American girls seeing themselves on the screen that way.
Yeah, I think
so I took it out, and I was like, okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Artistically, logically, and the movie does not suffer from not having that.
a novel can have it be a subtext in a way that it's more harder for a movie to.
Yeah, and if this were like Ava DuVernay's The Beguiled,
Right,
then she
that would
would
be
really
different.
work
Yes,
that in a way
right.
that made sense. So I'm fine with the decision as well. A thing I didn't notice, I got to see this twice, and what I didn't notice until the second viewing is there's almost no music in this film until the very end.
Long
cicadas.
stretches.
Yeah, it's those cicadas, like it's that southern summer, so the cicadas and the birds, and it just that's so evocative and atmospheric in that way that Coppola it plays to her strengths.
And the absence of music is very notable. You notice it. It's not like you think there's supposed to be music here. I'm trained to have music here.
Yeah, but the tension
Yeah,
then
it's good.
builds,
I like that.
and
Totally, I think
there's a
it's great
texture to it. I know you laugh when I talk about movies having texture, but really there is, and like
No, I
every
agree.
sunrise, every sunset, like she tracks the days. Like you can follow the time and the way the tension builds over this week or so, because you see every sunrise and every sunset, and like you can feel the steam. She shot it in 35mm, and that choice really gives the film like a tactile quality.
Humidity, kind of, yeah.
And so if you do go see it, find the biggest screen you can find, because it is absolutely beautiful. Just the colors, like the duskiness gives it a sense of mystery as the tension is increasing and the relationship with this man increases.
The costumes are great,
Oh my God.
and they are part of the story in
Totally.
a way of like really reflecting what the characters are thinking and feeling. We haven't mentioned Elle Fanning, who's really great in this.
She is, yeah.
And
as
Nicole Kidman,
yeah.
who's running the school, one of her best performances. I mean,
she's great.
It's no easy feat to step into a role that was originally played by.
And they all
John
have,
Page.
all the women, including the young girls, their interactions with Colin Farrell's character are all different and all meaningful and all laden with
Portent.
Right, what is he doing here? The Eastwood movie was dirtier. I mean, literally.
Oh, yeah.
Dirtier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Weird shit goes down in the Eastwood movie.
No, I meant dirt.
Oh,
dirt,
I meant
like seemed
naughty
more
stuff.
accurate of like, boy, I bet everybody was filthy, dirty with soot and
it is
grit.
grimier.
Yeah.
Although the problem, and this is not that movie's fault, just that era, the early 70s movie blood was so fake.
Was really
so red.
So red. So
it's like
red,
it came out of a tempura pot.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I appreciate what Sofia Coppola doesn't show us here, and what she does
Yes,
show us.
sure.
Her choices are very smart as far as like there are things we don't see and we don't need to see, and it does not deplete the movie of any of its horror. It reminds me a lot of Virgin Suicides in the choice of actresses you're mentioning, that they all have a different interaction with him. Angourie Rice, who was Ryan Gosling's
The Nice
daughter
Guys,
in The
yes.
Nice Guys. Una Lawrence was Jake Gyllenhaal's daughter in Southpaw. So it's a really wonderful cast of actresses that she has worked with and has not worked with, and I kind of loved it.
It definitely knocked me out, and I'm not. I take Sofia Coppola, I think, on a case-by-case basis. I didn't love The Bling Ring. I didn't love Marie Antoinette, but I think this is one of her best films.
I'm a big fan of hers. I did not love Bling Ring, but I love pretty much everything else she's ever done.
Of course, the better Bling Ring was the made-for-Lifetime movie starring me.
Oh yeah, who were you again?
Oh, right.
Who were you? Were you reporter number 2 this time?
No, I had a full scene with Jennifer Grey.
What's your name in it? Do you have a name?
Reporter.
Cade Yeager.
Yeah, that's right.
He's everywhere.
But it was. This is good, and just because we think that it's better than the Don Siegel version, you should see the Don Siegel version.
Totally.
It's totally worth seeing.
It's on
especially
HBO
after-
Go.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
HBO Now. HBO Now. Yeah.
And in general, Don
Isabel?
Siegel, one of the just a hugely undervalued director. So terrific.
Oh, totally, yeah.
All right, so I'm at 8.5. I loved it.
What did I say?
You said 8.
8, yes.
I'll give it an 8 also, so to just raise it 1.1 overall.
So it's 8.2.
Sure.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
All right. I'll trust you guys on this. It's at 71% on the tomato meter. I don't know why it is so low.
It's also short.
It is like 90 minutes long.
Yeah. God bless. Man.
And there could be a whole other Transformers movie. 2 of them. Right.
First woman to win Best Director at Cannes since
That's
like
right.
the early 60s, so good for her. And yeah, go see this movie. It's really great.
Bye.